All right, welcome to the SEO and AI visibility news for week 25. That was last week. Yeah, sorry, I didn't publish one last week. I had a tooth extraction with some complication in my jaw, so couldn't really speak, but I'm back to good health, and there's a bunch of things we can go through, so let's just jump right into it. A lot of news actually from last week, very interesting. A lot of different things going on. Here's a big one. Google Trends appear to be integrating fan out query, according to Chris Long, which is really bad because, I mean, Chris Long is posting it, but I think, yeah, Cyrus is the one who picked it up here. Very, very interesting and bad because all these query fan outs that people like ChatGPT are running, it's not people, sorry, it's all the LLMs and other tools. They're clouding the real data here. Now, again, I mean, clouding, I'm not sure. The real question is, if we have one topic and then LLM like ChatGPT would do 10 query fanouts, that increases the volume by 10 for that given topic if it's good at deciding what topic and picking them. So it is technically exaggerating long-term views, but then you can look at short-term maybe. But again, Google should definitely be able to see, Google should definitely be able to say, hey, this is a fan out query, let's remove it. So that's a big no-no, and I hope they fix this. But yeah, so just be careful when you use Google Trends right now. As well, Google apparently does not use Claude. Claude does not use Google search. That was a complete opposite. Claude does not use Google search. It's using, let's see here, Brave's search engine. And again, I think optimizing for your user and having core like white hat SEO basics will help you ranking Bing, Brave, other search engines with a few tweaks here and there in importance. Maybe they're less good at spam or something, but overall, stick to your plan. But it's just very interesting to know that Claude is not using Google. Let's see here. Google, oh, this is a big one as well. Yeah, Google is tightening the requirements for domain migration, specifically in Search Console, what you need to do. And again, uh, they're getting into like how you need to use the change of address tool for your subdomains as well. So very good to have different properties for those. So I always set up with clients like, or in this case, I'm in-house now, but going into a client previously, you would set up all the different properties, subdomains without HTTPS, et cetera, et cetera. Kind of good practice to set up those, and you get better data collection if you have a lot of traffic on like your main domain plus subdomains. So yeah, not going to get into details here, but just read up on Google's changes in this article. By the way, links to all of these awesome news, plus descriptions and titles, are in the video description. They're ready to copy paste if you want to share internally or read up on any of these things. Big news from Bing. They're kind of winning the AI reporting race because we have just gotten, that was the whole thing a few weeks ago. Search Console, you can now see impressions from AI tools in Google. That's it. And I guess Bing is getting a little bit ahead here with, you can even see cited pages, total citations, queries, and pages. So you're getting a lot more metrics from Bing, which is great. And Google should be picking up the pace here because it's really annoying to only see impressions. And then we've got this lovely self-promoting listicles. I think we talked about this, but let me just be clear and repeat. If you as a company have created your own listicle with the top 10 XX as X product and put yourself as the best one or top one, or even put yourself somewhere in it, which again is biased. You might have actually have been truthful about it, but who knows if you have. And Google doesn't know. And so what they do now is they will use that, your guide, your top 10, it will use those recommendations of your competitors and exclude you. I think they've all actually built a specific system doing this. So kind of super based from Google, and instead of just flagging it as spam, they're kind of punishing you in another way. And I think that's good and a bit tricky and funny. I would remove those completely right now because I think it's a sign of spam, low quality, and not being truthful. You're trying to game the system. That's not a good thing to have been flagged as, so to speak, by Google. And Lily Ray is covering this. She's writing a Substack article soon, I think. And actually, our future head of content, someone working in the content team right now, Shruti here, she wrote a Substack here on why I'm snorting at your best software list. So again, not the only one, but I recommend you check her writings as well. Lily Ray's will be a little bit more an analysis. This is more of a opinion based on what she's seeing, but good stuff. Also, Google's open knowledge format just came out. So they want to try and set a new standard or create a new standard for agent-readable business knowledge. I think that's quite interesting, especially considering I work for a SaaS that has a lot of products, a lot of different things. It's actually kind of hard to get into to understand. Like, I'm still in the process of completely understanding all the products and what they do. Um, so I think this is great for them to create this, and I will definitely be looking into this in the near future. So good stuff. Thank you, Mary Haynes, for covering this. Google as well is talking about HTML as the standard for SEO, not Markdown files. So that's, maybe if you serve Markdown files I've seen analysis showcasing they have a higher chance of getting cited. But, for example, looking at us and how we do things, we're not serving Markdown. We're being citing a lot. So I think strong brand is also a big part of it. You can't just narrow it down. I think you have to really be careful here. But overall, trying to serve Markdown files only for LLMs, I don't think it can hurt that much. This one, kind of an old school one, is information gain a ranking factor? So information gain, you have two exact same guides. I've just added an extra metric, one extra part of an analysis that the competitor doesn't have. That's the better guide. Google rewards that. Yes or no? It seems like it's a big yes. The new info didn't move the needle much, but the top 3 results contain more than the rest. So the biggest ranking predictor is number of unique data points. Very interesting. I've always said this. Like, why create the exact same guide my competitors have? Let's do a little extra research. Right? That makes it better. Or have some tip or interview an expert and include it, etc., etc. Nearly all of the SEO geo problems let's see here. Make sure Gaetano Dinardi. Cool name. I kind of agreed a lot with this, but he's looking into most B2B SaaS brands. It's entity issues, especially for like GEO. So again, he's explaining how customer service CRM is becoming intelligent CX platform. So it's just new ways of interpreting the product, or people are prompting differently and they haven't adapted to it. So I think it's a lot of entity and categorization issues. And I just think this is a really good post. If you're into B2B SaaS, have a look at this. Think about it. Great stuff. Definitely. Am I not follow him? Nope. Let me follow you now. There you go. You just earned yourself a following. Why calling yourself the best could be helping your competitors win an AI search. Again, back to the listicle stuff here. So this is a whole thing like switching right now. Listicles work and that's great. Yeah, now you're being punished for having those self-promotional listicles. So again, this is the Lily Ray Substack. So she did already write it. I'm just a bit confused. It's 40 degrees here in France, so the heat is taking some of my concentration away. All right, this one is big as well. Holy moly. In the UK is kind of pummeling Google right now, which I kind of like. We don't want to give Google too much power. I think they have enough. This one is super interesting. Google must give notice before significant ranking changes is a big one. So there's 2 requirements. They must use objective ranking criteria. I don't know how they're going to verify that. I don't think Google will give them access to their algorithms, and give advance notice of significant changes. That's crazy, including AI overviews. So again, you could just say, yeah, we're doing a big update in 2 weeks. I guess giving warning is fair, but then objective ranking criteria. I don't know how they're going to verify that, but I think it's kind of interesting that they're getting into this. They're also talking about like AI overviews and how is it plagiarism? Can we opt out? We should be able to opt out. So I think it feels like UK is leading the charts and EU is a little bit slower. Mainly maybe because they're out of EU, so they can kind of make these decisions faster. Who knows? And finally, this one is a little bit niche, but if it's specific about G2 reviews, but all these listicles, and again, I'm looking into, for ESCO where I work, we're looking into who is shaping the AI narrative, and a lot of our competitors are actually comparing us to themselves on their own website, which I don't think is spammy. I think a fair comparison is there. What we've seen is sometimes they're not completely fair, and they're excluding some of our products that are actually better at competing with them than other products. If they are using G2 reviews on their site or changing them a little bit, you can send a cease and desist because it is not part of G2 does not allow that unless you have a license. That's interesting. So just that's kind of something to worry about as well. If you've been using G2 reviews, maybe read into this and watch out. Watch out with all this self-promotional stuff. again, my recommendations are you can do buyer's guides. Don't tell you're the best, but having a buyer guide saying this is what's important if you're a small brand versus a big one for XX software. Good. We have experts around that software. We build it. We know it. And then you can do fair comparisons. And again, comparisons that are open, they're super fair. They don't tell which is best. They just say, here's competitor A, competitor B, here's the facts, boom. And be truthful about those facts and have an open channel in the article saying, hey, if you are the competitor we're talking about, reach out and make sure we can change anything. So truthful, factual, no opinions, not best off, we win here. Just here are the facts. That's okay to do. I don't think that is bad, and people actually do want that kind of content. So, yeah. Anyway, that was the news for week 25 here in late June. Hope you all enjoy the summer, and I will post next week. Oh yeah, and like and subscribe.